me use mine. What are you doing today?
We are building snare traps.
Well, hello, Tia.
Hi.
So here's the thing. Number one,
We're having a family day because this one had an allergic reaction yesterday and had a sore throat, but with everything going on, we decided that we would stay home just in case and see how the day goes.
we are practicing social distancing today.
Not around each other, though.
Right. So, a lot of people have, number one, been concerned about not having their kids in school. And the best answer to that is do something different. Teach your kids some skills that they don't learn in school. And also learn some yourself or practice some. So, we are building snare traps. Also, we live out in the middle of the desert where there's a lot of jackrabbits. But they like to come out at night when we're not out hunting, so snaring them would be a better idea. If we need to, for a survival purpose.
What are you doing over there, Tia?
I'm trying to make a stake for the thing, and it's not working.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, here's what you need. 16th inch cable. It's a good tight wind. I don't know, sometimes the hand behind it helps focus.
No.
Oh.
There.
Okay.
There we go. Now it focused. Yeah.
And you cut it about 24 inches. Some of these might have been like 30. Which is fine. A little bit longer is
Don't
fine.
talk shit.
I'm not. Now you should have cable cutters. We don't. So we used fencing pliers, which cut partway through them, and then wire cutters to get the last couple of strands.
Yep.
And then, here's some tricks that I've learned from trappers. You want to pre-bend this wire.
Also called preload.
Preload, yep. So, you get it on there and run it back and forth. So you get that nice bend. That way the loop, the noose end, has a good shape and it doesn't, if you didn't, it would be like teardrop shape and it wouldn't hold tight against the rabbit. Then you want to use washers or pennies.
By drilling them.
Yep. Pennies cost
Pennies.
1 cent each.
Which are way cheaper than washers.
Yeah, which are like 10 cents. Also, people just throw them away or just store them for years. So you're going to use one per snare. Couldn't figure out what this was called.
1 penny per snare.
Yeah. So you drill 2 holes and you put a slight bend in it.
You didn't talk about your stoppers.
We will
Okay.
when we get there.
Okay. Okay, Jerry.
And you want to load it to where that bend is going to be inside. I drilled a hole that's like 2 sizes up from the 16th inch, so 11, 3rd, whatever it is. You got your little stoppers, your little crimp-on pieces. Now, because we don't have cable cutters, these ends are frayed a little bit, so it's the only difficult part is kind of getting that on. But that's okay. And we also don't have a swaging tool, which is what you would use to crimp that. But again, fencing pliers will also work pretty much just as well. Put a couple of good crimps in there.
Just like 2 or 3.
Yep.
Quit moving. There.
Okay.
Just like that.
Yep. And then we feed this through. Now these are built specifically for survival situations. So these can go in your bug out bags or whatever.
Super lightweight. Don't take up a lot of room.
Yep. And better than packing your food, you can pack a way to capture food. Typical bug out bag though is going to be a 72-hour bag. But by adding something like this, you can extend your food quite a bit. So now what will happen is the rabbit will come through, it'll snare, that'll pull closed.
Will it pull closed?
Yes. But it locks. So in order to open it, you got to like mess with it. So theory, it should. If not, then you may need to drill your holes a little bit bigger. But you don't want them too big. You are going to use another stop.
Here, you can hand that to me. I'm gonna move it anyways because it looked like a person. Are you okay?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay. Another stop goes in. And over.
That's to create your stake,
Yes.
or a way to stake your snare.
Technically, you would use a stick, but we don't have good sticks. So you're using tie wire. And there's two across the way.
Of course they are. There. So now with this end, you can do multiple ways of tying this off. You can use a stake. If you're in the woods, or you're going to be in the woods, you can make little stakes out of sticks. Stake it down. You can also use paracord, shoelaces, pieces of leather, whatever, and use that to tie off to something. That's actually good because it has flexibility. Your rabbits are going to want to thrash around. We're in the desert and we don't have stakes, so let's go to Tia for the next step.
Okay. Well, just tie wire around.
What are we using?
Tie wire.
Tie wire. Yep. That's just good old-fashioned baling wire.
And you just twist it.
You can use pliers if you need. Okay.
Let's see.
So that can be used as a stake, or
You can also wrap it around the sagebrush.
yep, wrap it around the sagebrush and twist it on. And that's pretty easy. That's how you make snares. They're actually not hard. One thing you would want to do, if you're actually going to be trapping, this is an old one. If you're actually going to be trapping regularly, is you get another one of these stops. It's the smaller ones would be better for this. And you want to put it like here. That would make sure that when this closed, I guess about there, that it couldn't close too tight. They call that a deer stop, and that is so a deer's hoof doesn't get caught in there. If a deer's running through and gets caught, they can pull their leg out. So if you are trapping actually like on a regular basis, you want to do that. For a survival situation, not really needed. I'm going to set this one aside. That's Grover's. So that's it. We're taking a couple hours today for some family time. Excuse me. Building some snare wires out of cable. And then a little bit later, I think this afternoon, we're going to make snare wires out of thin 24 gauge wire. They're actually a little easier to build. They're not as effective and they're not really reusable, but we're going to make some of those too and just practice our skills.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's what you can do with your self-quarantine time.
Yep.
Yeah.
During
Which we
this
do anyway. This is
coronavirus.
normal for us. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but for those of you that don't know, plenty of activities you guys can do.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.